First contact. The Araxian survey vessel Eternal Seeker decelerated from slit space, its quantum engines pulsing with brilliant cobalt light as it approached the third planet of an unremarkable yellow star. Commander Zallis observed the blue-green whirl through the ship's main viewing portal, her crystalline exoskeleton refracting the light of distant stars. Preliminary assessment, she asked, her voice a harmonious chime in the ship's atmosphere. Science Director Vex moved his appendages across the holographic interface. Oxygen-nitrogen atmosphere. Significant water coverage. Detectable technology, but primitive. Early space exploration only. The dominant species appears carbon-based, vital. Another developing world, Zallis noted without enthusiasm. The Confederation catalog needs updating, but this hardly seems worth an extended study. There's something unusual, Vex added, his tone shifting to a higher resonance indicating curiosity. Their communication networks are chaotic but extensive. They're transmitting vast amounts of information openly. Art, science, conflict, cooperation, all intermingled without apparent hierarchical structure. Inefficient, Zallis remarked. Yes, but fascinating. They call themselves humans, and this planet Earth. The Araxian Confederation had mapped 17 galactic sectors, cataloging thousands of worlds and hundreds of sentient species. Protocol dictated that pre-spacefaring civilizations should be observed but not contacted. Humans weren't the first primitive species they'd studied, nor the most interesting at first glance. Standard observation protocol, Zallis decided. Cloak the vessel and establish monitoring stations. 3 planetary rotations should be sufficient. The Eternal Seeker deployed its stealth field and entered Earth's atmosphere, invisible to the primitive radar systems the humans employed. Observation drones, no larger than insects, were dispatched to population centers across the planet. Within hours, the ship's central chamber became a panorama of human activity. Cities bustling with vehicles, families in dwellings, workers in facilities, children in learning centers. They're remarkably similar physically despite varied pigmentation, noted Medical Officer Tara, her crystalline form glinting as she studied the biological data. But their social structures are bewilderingly complex. And inefficient, added engineering specialist Chorus. Look at their energy systems, burning fossil fuels when even rudimentary solar collection would be more effective. Their technological development is chaotic, advancing rapidly in some areas while stagnating in others. Zallis watched a human settlement where small dwellings clustered near an ocean. What's happening there? She asked, noting unusual activity. Vex enlarged the image. Their atmospheric prediction systems have detected an incoming storm, what they call a hurricane. The settlement is evacuating. The Araxians observed as humans loaded possessions into vehicles, securing dwellings with primitive barriers. What caught Zallis's attention wasn't the technology but the behavior. Humans helping other humans who weren't part of their immediate family units, sharing resources, coordinating without apparent hierarchical command. Their social cooperation doesn't follow efficient patterns, she noted. Look there. That human is delaying its evacuation to assist unrelated offspring. Evolutionary disadvantage, Chorus suggested, prioritizing non-kin over self-preservation. As the storm struck, the Araxians continued their observation. The hurricane's power was considerable, destroying structures and flooding the settlement. Yet the humans' response was immediate. They organized search parties, distributed resources, created temporary shelters. Individuals risked personal safety to rescue others, including non-human animals that appeared to serve no practical purpose. This behavior pattern repeats across their historical records, Vex reported, analyzing the data streams. They call it compassion or altruism, and their cultural systems place high value on it, despite its apparent evolutionary cost. Zallis found herself unexpectedly intrigued. Perhaps extended observation is warranted after all. The Araxians continued monitoring for 2 more planetary rotations, cataloging human behavior, technology, and social systems. They observe remarkable diversity in problem-solving approaches, some logical, others seemingly irrational yet effective. On the third day, as the Eternal Seeker prepared to depart Earth's atmosphere, a critical malfunction occurred in the ship's quantum core. Alarms resonated through the vessel as crystalline corridors illuminated with warning pulses. "Containment field destabilizing," reported Chorus, his harmonics sharp with urgency. "The gravitational compensators are failing. We need to land immediately." "Impossible," Zalus countered. "Contact protocol." "Commander," Chorus interrupted, "if the core breaches in atmosphere, the resulting quantum cascade will destroy a significant portion of this continent. We must land and make repairs." Faced with either breaking protocol or risking millions of human lives, Zalus made her decision. "Find an isolated location. Minimal contact only." The Eternal Seeker descended rapidly, its stealth field flickering as power diverted to containment systems. They landed in a forested area several kilometers from the hurricane-damaged settlement. "Containment holding at 62%, Chorus reported. "Repairs require external access. Estimated time: 1 planetary rotation." "They've detected us," Vex announced, monitoring human communications. "Their primitive tracking systems registered our descent. Several ground vehicles are approaching our position." Zalus faced an unprecedented situation. The Confederation had clear protocols for first contact scenarios, but they presumed technological parity. Revealing advanced technology to a primitive species violated fundamental principles. "Maintain position," she ordered. "Prepare diplomat protocols, but priority remains repair and departure with minimal interference." The Araxians watched their external monitors as human vehicles stopped at the forest perimeter. A small group approached cautiously on foot, some wearing what appeared to be authority uniforms, others in civilian attire. "Their approach formation suggests defensive caution but not hostile intent," noted Security Officer Lirin. "No significant weaponry detected. Open external communication," Zalus decided. The ship's external panels shifted, creating an opening. Zalus stepped forward, her crystalline form catching the sunlight in prismatic refractions. The humans stopped, expressions registering what the Araxians recognized as shock. A moment of silence hung between the two species. Then, unexpectedly, one human stepped forward, an older female with silver-streaked hair. "Hello," she said simply. "I'm Dr. Elena Reyes. Are you in need of assistance?" The translation systems processed her words, but the content surprised Zalus more than the language. Not fear, not aggression, but an offer of help to a completely unknown entity. "We have experienced a technical difficulty," Zalus responded carefully, the ship's systems converting her harmonic speech to human language. "We will depart once repairs are completed." Another human, wearing an authority uniform, spoke. "This area was hit by the hurricane. We have emergency resources if you need them." Zalus exchanged glances with her crew. None of their extensive first contact protocols had prepared them for this response. "Our needs are likely different from yours," she explained. "We require no assistance." Yet as repairs continued through the Earth night, the humans remained nearby, establishing a small camp. They maintained respectful distance but stayed present. When Chorus discovered that a specific molecular compound would accelerate their repairs, Vex identified it as a common element in human technology. With reluctance, Zalus approached the human camp. Dr. Reyes immediately came forward. "The compound you call aluminum oxide, in specific crystalline formation," Zalus explained. "We require a small quantity." Instead of suspicion or bargaining, the human immediately contacted others. Within hours, the necessary material arrived. "You didn't ask what we needed it for," Zalus observed as the transaction completed. Dr. Reyes smiled, a human expression the Araxians had identified as indicating positive emotion. "You're clearly advanced beyond our technology. If you meant harm, you wouldn't need our help. Besides, That's what people do. Help when needed. As dawn approached and repairs neared completion, more humans had gathered at a respectful distance. Rather than fear or hostility, they exhibited curiosity. Some brought food to share with their fellow humans. Others documented the ship with primitive recording devices. Children pointed and asked questions. Before departure, Dr. Rice approached one final time. "Will you return? There's much we could learn from each other." Zealous considered the Confederation protocols that strictly regulated contact with pre-spacefaring species. "Our directives prohibit interference with developing worlds." "Not interference," Elena countered. "Exchange. Relationship." As the Eternal Seeker rose into the morning sky, Zealous found herself contemplating these words. The Araxian Confederation had categorized humans as primitive, their technology unremarkable, their social systems inefficient. Yet something about their response challenged foundational Araxian assumptions about evolutionary development and intelligence. Perhaps, Zealous thought, as Earth diminished behind them, there was more to evaluate than technology alone. The turning point. The Eternal Seeker had barely reached the heliopause of Earth's solar system when the distress signal arrived from Confederation Command. Priority 1. Encrypted on quantum channels reserved for existential threats. Signal authenticated. Confirmed Communications Officer Taylor. Data packet includes stellar cartography. The holographic display materialized in the ship's command center, showing a stellar anomaly moving through nearby space. A neutron fragment, remnant of a collapsed hypergent, trailing lethal radiation and gravitational distortions. Projection indicates Earth is directly in its path. Vex observed, his tone resonating with concern. Estimated impact in 7 planetary rotations. The humans have no detection capability for this type of phenomenon. Chorus added, "They will have no warning." Zealous studied the projection. Alert Confederation Command of our proximity to the affected system. Request intervention protocol authorization. The response came swiftly. Intervention denied. Primitive species assessment doesn't warrant resource allocation. Your vessel is ordered to return to Sector Hub immediately. The command chamber fell silent, crystal surfaces reflecting the projected destruction of the blue-green world they had just departed. "Commander," Vex finally spoke, "the humans assisted us without hesitation. They didn't calculate benefit or resource allocation. Confederation protocols are clear," Lurin reminded them. "Non-interference with pre-spacefaring civilizations except in cases of authorized research. The protocols exist to protect developing species from cultural contamination," Terra countered, "not to abandon them to extinction." Zealous contemplated the situation, her crystalline form shifting hues with her processing intensity. The Araxian Confederation had existed for millennia, its protocols refined through countless encounters with other species. Those protocols had prevented disasters, protected developing worlds, and maintained order across 17 sectors. But they had never encountered humans before. "Set course back to Earth," she decided. "We will provide warning and technical assistance only. Minimal intervention to enable their self-preservation." The Eternal Seeker slipped back into Earth's orbit 19 hours later. Their arrival triggered immediate reactions in human monitoring systems. This time, their presence was detected globally. "Multiple communication attempts from various human authorities," reported Taylor. "They recognize our signature from the previous encounter." "Establish connection with Dr. Elena Reyes," Zealous instructed, remembering the human who had offered assistance without calculation. When Elena's face appeared on the communication display, her expression showed what the Araxians now recognized as surprise mixed with happiness. "You came back sooner than I expected," she said. "Not by choice," Zealous replied. "A stellar fragment is approaching your system. The radiation and gravitational distortion will eliminate all life on your planet within 7 rotations. We've returned to warn you." Elena's expression shifted to what their systems identified as alarm. "Can it be diverted?" "Not with our resources alone," Zealous explained. "The Confederation has declined intervention. Then we'll have to handle it ourselves, Alina said, her voice steady despite the news. What can you tell us about this fragment? Over the next hours, human leaders from various regions joined the communication. The Araxians shared data about the approaching threat, explaining concepts beyond current human science, using analogies their systems constructed from human knowledge bases. We need to evacuate as many as possible, one human leader suggested. To where? Another countered. We barely have lunar habitats for a dozen people. If we can't stop it or leave, we need to shield ourselves, a third proposed. The humans began what appeared to Araxian perception as chaotic, overlapping problem-solving. Multiple approaches suggested simultaneously, arguments erupting and resolving. Impractical ideas discarded while promising ones developed further. Their methodology is inefficient, Lurin observed, yet effective. Vex noted. They're considering approaches we wouldn't have proposed. As discussions continued, Zalus received another communication from Confederation Command. Your vessel has been detected in prohibited interaction with pre-space species. Return immediately. This is final warning. Zalus acknowledged the message but did not alter course. By the third planetary rotation, a plan had emerged from the human discussions, one so audacious that even the Araxians, with their advanced technology, questioned its feasibility. You want to create a planetary shield? Chorus asked, his harmonics indicating disbelief. Not exactly, explained Dr. Reyes, now working alongside scientists from around Earth. We can't stop the radiation, but we can use your data to calculate precisely where the most intense radiation will hit. Then we'll seed those areas of the atmosphere with reflective compounds. Our existing weather modification systems can be repurposed, another scientist added. We'll need to manufacture the compounds at unprecedented scale, but if we coordinate globally. And the gravitational distortions? Vex questioned. That's where we need your help, Alina admitted. If you could share the principles of your gravitational compensators, not the technology itself, just the theoretical framework, we might adapt our existing magnetic field technology. Zalus considered this request. Sharing even theoretical knowledge violated Confederation protocol. Yet extinction violated a deeper principle. We will provide the theoretical basis, she decided. What followed was unprecedented in Araxian records. A species with primitive technology, attempting to defend against a cosmic threat, using hastily adapted systems and partial understanding of advanced principles. Humans around the planet mobilized resources, converted manufacturing facilities, coordinated through their chaotic but extensive communication networks. They argued, disagreed, found compromises, worked beyond physical exhaustion. When one approach failed, they immediately pivoted to alternatives without dwelling on the failure. Their scientists processed complex theoretical physics with intuitive leaps that sometimes led to errors, but occasionally produced insights even the Araxians found novel. They shouldn't be able to integrate these concepts this quickly, Vex remarked, monitoring their progress. Their cognitive approach is unpredictable. By the sixth rotation, with the neutron fragment now visible to human instruments, the Global Shield project was ready for deployment. Thousands of aircraft and rockets positioned reflective compounds in the upper atmosphere, while massive electromagnetic generators, repurposed from research facilities and industrial installations, prepared to create localized distortion fields at critical points. Aboard the Eternal Seeker, now in stationary orbit above Earth, Zalus received the final communication from Confederation Command. Your actions have been classified as rogue intervention. Return status: outcast. No further contact authorized. The message carried the weight of millennia of Araxian tradition. Outcast status meant separation from the collective knowledge and community that defined Araxian existence. Commander, Tella reported, the humans are requesting our assistance with final calibrations. Without hesitation, Zalus authorized the transfer of the necessary data. Position our vessel to supplement their electromagnetic field at the calculated weak point. The Eternal Seeker moved into position, its systems reconfigured to reinforce the human defense network. As the neutron fragment approached, its radiation signature intensifying, the ship's sensors detected a Confederation vessel entering the system, likely sent to enforce the returned order. The fragment will reach critical proximity in 17 minutes, Vex announced. Across Earth, the hastily constructed defense system activated. Reflective particles illuminated in the upper atmosphere, creating an iridescent shell visible from space. Electromagnetic generators strained global power systems as they projected distortion fields at calculated intercept points. The Eternal Seeker's systems interfaced with the human network, providing real-time adjustments as the fragment's approach created unexpected gravitational eddies. The strain pushed both human technology and the Araxian vessel beyond design parameters. Field integrity at 30%, reported Chorus as systems throughout the ship emitted distress harmonics. The human systems are failing faster than they can adapt. On communication channels, human operators reported cascading failures across their defense network. The fundamental physics worked, but their implementation lacked the precision and power necessary. Divert all non-essential systems to field reinforcement, Zalus ordered, including life support reserves. Commander Liren warned that exceeds safety protocols by. Do it, Zalus interrupted, her crystalline form pulsing with intensity. As the neutron fragment reached its closest approach, the combined human-Araxian defense system strained against cosmic forces. The Eternal Seeker's hull resonated with stress harmonics as power surged through systems never designed for such output. For 7 critical minutes, the fate of Earth hung in balance. Then, gradually, sensors indicated the fragment beginning its passage away from the planet. The worst of the radiation had been deflected, the gravitational distortions partially compensated. Damage assessment. Zalus requested as emergency systems activated throughout the ship. Extensive, Chorus replied. Primary drive offline. Structural integrity compromised in 17 sections. But functional. On Earth below, humans were already assessing the impact. Some regional systems had failed, causing localized damage. But the planet as a whole had survived what should have been an extinction event. The approaching Confederation vessel now hailed the Eternal Seeker. Commander Zalus, you and your crew are ordered to transfer to this vessel for return and judgment. The humans will be memory wiped per protocol. Before Zalus could respond, hundreds of human communication channels activated simultaneously, directed toward the Confederation ship. This is Acting Secretary General Rise of Earth, Elena's voice declared. The Araxian vessel and crew under Commander Zalus have saved our planet and species. They are under our protection. Any action against them will be considered hostile action against humanity. Their technology cannot enforce this claim, the Confederation commander noted to Zalus on a private channel. Perhaps not, Zalus acknowledged, but I would not underestimate their resourcefulness. They've just survived what our models deemed unsurvivable. After a pause, the Confederation vessel transmitted again. This situation requires council deliberation. Both vessels will maintain position pending resolution. In the days that followed, as the Eternal Seeker underwent repairs with human assistance, Zalus found herself reflecting on the Confederation's foundational principles. They had categorized species by technological development, assuming that advanced technology correlated with advanced consciousness and ethics. The humans had demonstrated otherwise. Their technology was primitive, but their social cooperation, creative problem-solving, and willingness to aid others, even alien others, suggested a kind of advancement the Confederation had not properly valued. 1 month later, a Confederation diplomatic vessel arrived. The Council had reached an unprecedented decision. Earth would be reclassified as a collaborative species of interest, a new designation that permitted limited technological exchange, despite their pre-spacefaring status. Your actions violated our oldest protocols, the Council representative told Zalus, but they have also revealed a gap in our understanding. This human species, they are not what we expected. No, Zalus agreed. watching through the viewscreen as humans continued rebuilding their world below. They are something we never expected at all. As the former outcast vessel prepared to accompany the diplomatic mission back to Confederation space, Alina Reyes made one final transmission. "The stars have always inspired humanity to dream," she said. "Now we know we're not alone in that dreaming. Whatever comes next, we'll face it the same way we faced this challenge, together." Zalus, her crystalline form reflecting the light of Earth's sun, found herself responding with a sentiment that would have been alien to her just months before, together. And with that promise, a new chapter in galactic history began.